this is Valeria, and today's video will be about how I make my Twitch overlays. So this big amazing brain cells forgot to start recording, but then I realized, okay, I can record this, and here I'm just making a grid to guide myself since the software that I'm using don't have one, at least that I know. So I'm just copying and pasting a bunch of rectangles so I can use this as a guide later. So something interesting you should do here, if you do the same as me, don't do the same as me, probably there are better ways to overcome this. But I'm placing all these rectangles in one same folder so I can hide them all. And here again for this new rectangle, trying to find the middle or a place where I can place it, and using a bunch of gradients. One thing that you see, I love to use gradients for this. To me, one of the main things you need to know is the theme of the overlays you're making, the main colors, and you need to have some references. Notice the way that I do buttons and overlays in general, but I just pick one square, I copy and paste this, make it smaller, build one on top of the other, make the second one darker, and then it becomes a shadow. Right here I'm just making a camera holder, so I blur the bottom square and use a gradient. You can see the main structure here is ready. It's just time to add some final touches and details. Here I draw the cat. Just simple shapes and everything. I was struggling at the beginning because I was trying to do everything using my hands, but I realized I could use circles and pre-made figures. So I just end up painting this cat 3 times because I didn't use a bunch of layers. I did all this in the same layer before, but then I wanted to use an overlay layer to shade the cat, and then I just learning with time, you know? At this point it's mostly ready. I just need to pick some fonts that I like. I'll change this one later. Okay, we're going for the next one. And this is the offline page. I just copy and paste the same cat, and I decide to draw some leaves there. For now, what I did, I just used rectangles to build this frame. Copy and paste the cat that I drew before. And I'm drawing some leaves there, using some layers, trying to figure it out. Just copy pasting them so I don't have to draw them all, modifying them, different sizes, different shapes, just filling the blank space for what I imagine in my head. A secret, I don't really know what I imagine. I'm not sure what I'm looking for there, but I'm just going with my guts. So here I decide to draw another cat. I started the same way as before, but then I realized, whoa, I already have one cat. why I don't just copy paste this one. And then I did this. I'm not gonna lie, they look pretty cute. I'm still in love with these cats. And here I start shading the leaves, applying layers on top of this. I'm just playing with a bunch of effects till I like what I see. Coloring them again. I find this that I like, and I just use this with a layer on top, overlay layer, and it's done. I just like a bunch of overlay layers so I can put everything together. Here we start with another thing. This is me again trying to find the middle of the page, okay? Wow. I promise I'll fix this in a bit. Okay, so here we are doing the same thing as I said before. Just copy and paste the same rectangles and using them to be a shade of the other. To draw things, I love to simplify the form as much as possible, just drawing circles and oval shapes. And then I start to get closer to what I wanted. I'm just expecting here a black cat on top of this, looking to the letters. So here I'm going for this. But I realized the sail is too big, and then I'm making the adjustments as it goes. Being very perfectionist as always. Every pixel. These paws are really cute. Really cute ears. More and more shorter every second. Just refining everything. And I try new stuff like whiskers, some lines here and there. And here we have another overlay layer. Not big nails, I just love to use them. Well, and this is me certifying myself that it looks good on both black and white backgrounds. So I just outlined this cat with a pink color. While I'm drawing this and coming up with ideas, I grab a bunch of references and put them into a folder, so I can look at them during the same time and come up with my own ideas. I try a bunch of things, a bunch of fonts, colors. For this project, I knew the colors I would use and that it had to be something related to cats. But I didn't really know before I really started working on it. using overlay layers and adding some texture to this cat because I felt it was very flat. So I'm trying a bunch of brushes, textures, layers until I come up with something pleasing to my eyes.